And Jeff Davis is calling in from the Greenville County Republican Party. Jeff, what's the deal? You guys are having Democrats come talk to your group. What's going on, man?
Hey, Charlie, Jeff Davis here.
Yes, sir.
On Monday, and we invite everybody to come out and hear this. Doors open at 6 p.m., Mauldin First Baptist Church. We start the meeting off at 7. You can kind of actually see how we work with the Greenville Republican Party. It should be a good meeting. Last time we had this discussion was 2 years ago on January 6th. We had about 600 people come out to hear what's going on with judicial reform and what the problem is with our judges and the lawyer legislators.
Right.
So I think you probably know Freedom Caucus. I mean, we've got two people coming to speak. One of them is Solicitor David Pascoe, who indicted a whole bunch of corrupt politicians about 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
That's number one. He is a Democrat.
But wait a minute. But here's the thing, though. I mean, isn't there a good Republican that you can have to come speak on that? I mean, this is a guy. This is a guy that had an opportunity to also go after some of the corporate interests that were backing some of these people, but he didn't.
I've actually talked to him about that particular reason why he did go after him, but the only way you could get any money out of him was do one of those agreements. But we also have Kevin Brackett. He's a solicitor out of York County. He's a Republican, and their presentation is over the top. I saw it a couple weeks ago down in Lexington with the Lexington County Republican Party. You'd be shocked at what our judges are doing. And Charlie, I highly encourage you to come out and see it. And these people are fighting. They're working with Alan Wilson, who's a Republican, Attorney General. And if Alan Wilson and David Pascoe are on the same page, we need to get everybody on the same page. So judicial reform is a huge issue, and I'm telling you, it is over the top. You'd be proud of it.
But a Democrat is a Democrat, Jeff. I mean, I'll be honest with the way that they've been acting. I mean, come on, why don't you get Wes Clymer up there to give a presentation about it?
Wes Clymer is working with Kevin Brackett, who is coming. He's the solicitor in Wes Clymer's district. David Pascoe, he actually, in fact, is a classmate of mine from the SUA, class of 1989. He is a pro-life Democrat. Do you hear that? Do we want pro-life Democrats? Do we want to be working with them? We want to get them on our side. So that's what we're doing. But I'm sorry that he's the guy kind of leading the charge. Alan Wilson has picked it up. We got sheriffs and we got solicitors all around this state that are fighting for judicial reform finally starting. And you know where it started? Where this race started? It's because we in the Greenville County Republican Party had him come speak on January 6, 2022.
Do you know if David Pascoe is for James Smith as circuit court judge?
We're not, but I can tell you I went to the legislative delegation meeting when James Smith came here back in October of last year. And every one of our Republican legislators, Freedom Caucus members including, were hobnobbing with him. But I'm going to tell you, judicial reform is a nonpartisan issue, and if we can get it through, I talk to lawyers and legislators all the time and say it'll never happen, but it's happening because we're working with the other side. I'll work with anybody that's going to fix our judicial system, and that's what we're working on doing. And if people are using you and using the fact that David Pascoe happens to be a Democrat, pro-life Democrat, out of the Low Country, and he's from Orangeburg down there. I mean, you're not going to get elected as a Republican in Orangeburg, let me assure you. But he's fighting for judicial reform, and we're here to support it. We got Kevin Brackett. We've invited our own solicitor, Walt Wilkins. Walt has not responded. Walt did not come 2 years ago because he got in touch with somebody that had COVID, so he couldn't come. But Solicitor Wilkins right here in Greenville's been invited. We've invited all of them to come. We want them to come. And I will tell you one other thing. You know Representative Joe White?
Yeah.
Out of Newberry, Freedom Caucus member. Joe White was angry at me, and he'll tell you this story. He was angry at me as chairman of the Greenville GOP, 2 years ago. He was angry at me for having Pascoe come speak. He was. You know what encouraged him to run for office? Hearing Pascoe's speech.
Well, we'll certainly ask him about that, and I appreciate you calling in, Jeff. Just want to correct you on one thing. Nobody uses me for anything, but I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, pal.
Love to talk to you.
Take care. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.